Last year, we did a PlayStation crossovers video and discovered something pretty surprising. Sony's first-party series, Everybody's Golf or Hot Shots Golf, is full of lost media that you simply can't get anymore. See, this series is pretty well known for its crossovers. The second game kicked off with characters like Sweet Tooth and Gex. The fourth game had Ratchet and Jack. But as we entered the digital era, things got a bit more complicated. Everybody's Golf World Tour technically had all its DLC delisted, but they reinstated a digital copy of the game with all the content in one big bulk, so this disc is useless. With this digital copy, we can play as Sackboy, Toro, and Kratos.
Ew.
Zeus, show yourself!
So they are safe until the PSN store threatens to close once again. But let's actually rewind back to the PlayStation 2 game, because while this isn't lost media, it was never documented. The European version of the game has a completely different roster to the American one, and while it maintains Jack and Ratchet as playable characters in addition to Clank and Daxter as caddies, it also features a Peepo Monkey from Ape Escape as a caddy as well, which the American one does not. Now, you can earn the Peepo Monkey through normal gameplay, but getting everything in this game will take you hours and hours and hours and hours. There is an internal cheat menu in the game, and if you've got the codes, using this unlocks everything at the touch of a finger. But the thing is, the codes were never made public for the PAL version. We searched all over the internet and went back through magazines released in the era, and I'm pretty confident in saying that no one ever released those European codes. Even cheat devices like Action Replay are no help at all. They've got all these codes here, but not a single one for unlocking all the caddies. But thankfully, a few months after we released our video, a user known as Bad Font Kemming reverse-engineered the PAL version of Everybody's Golf, and through a very complicated process, finally managed to deliver public versions of the European codes, making the Peepo Monkey a readily available caddy without going through weeks of grinding in a PlayStation 2 golf game. Brilliant stuff! But it's not really lost media, just kind of more easier to obtain media. The real blows to preservation in these crossovers come from the Vita game, Everybody's Golf, and the PS4 game, Everybody's Golf. Good titles. Here in the West, we received Kat from Gravity Rush as a DLC golfer, and she's absolutely fantastic and still obtainable today. We also got Toro and Koro, and they are likewise still obtainable, but Japan got a few others. To get these guys, I needed a Japanese copy of the game, and so I went for a slightly different version with the PlayStation 3 version this time. With this, I went to the Japanese PlayStation 3 store to find these exclusive golfers. And I was in for a surprise. One of the exclusive characters is still here, and that's Kiryu from Yakuza. But I couldn't for the life of me find a little round guy who happens to be one of the most famous game characters of all time. Pac-Man. One of the oldest and most famous video game characters was silently pulled from a first-party game. And no one talked about it. We only found out because we were actively trying to get footage of this guy, but it was impossible. And the weirdest part is Pac-Man is not preserved anywhere. No one who bought this DLC shared the file. He was completely gone, with no way to use him ever again. Which is crazy to think about. No one preserved Pac-Man. But this video caught the attention of a very dedicated and important person to this cause, Nick Nintendo. Nick was roaming through the comments section when he found a user claiming to actually have Pac-Man. This person goes by the name Guilty Bad Guy Gaming, and they really did have the missing character. It took a little while, but Nick managed to help them dump the file for Pac-Man from their console, and we also discovered another character who had only released in the Japanese version. This is Shingo Katayama, a real-life golfer. He's kinda neat. But look at Pac-Man! The Pac is back! Sometimes at random, the ghosts appear during his animations, and that's pretty cute. Like here's a standard one, and here's a ghost-infested one. He's a really cool character, packed with classic sound effects and a lot of charm and detail. It's just nice to finally have him back in the game. Now, Everybody's Golf PS4 didn't really rely on paid DLC for characters. There is a chocobo you can buy that replaces the golf cart, and yeah, it's a full-on chocobo. It can jump and fly. It's nothing like a golf cart. But the crossover characters this time primarily came from single-timed events. There were 2 tournaments in June of 2018, running from June 5th until June 11th, and then June 22nd until June 29th. So there were only 13 days you could obtain these timed costumes. And in many cases, you had to advance to the finals to actually get these. But this was for the level 5 event, and if you did this, you get clothes and costumes for Professor Layton, Jibanyan and Koma-san from Yokai Watch, Tone and Zio from Dark Cloud, the White Knight from White Knight Chronicles, and even and Tani from Ni no Kuni. Some other events would give you a Moogle costume from Final Fantasy, and also 2 Atelier costumes. But if you didn't take part in these ultra-limited events, then all the Everybody's Golf PS4 crossovers are dead, right? No! Never doubt Nick Nintendo! While there is no official way to obtain these characters anymore, there is a very easy workaround: modifying your save file. So PS4 and PS5 saves are locked to specific users, so it's not as simple as just using someone else's save. But thanks to a program called Save Wizard, you're essentially able to apply action replay style codes to your PlayStation saves, while the wizard keeps it all tied to your account. You can even take your friend's save files and change the account to share saves with each other. Everybody's Golf isn't exactly swimming in codes, but Nick noticed something interesting. Unlock everything. Could that really mean everything? These crossover costumes aren't downloads. If the game servers were still active, which they're not, you would be able to encounter people using these costumes, so technically they are in the game. Would this code unlock them? And as it turns out, yeah. Although because the game thinks you have everything, you must buy all the DLC, because that's technically unlocked, and if you don't have it, you can't actually start the game. But once that's done, you can finally ride a chocobo as Jibanyan! There's also various other golf carts like a Catriel Layton cart, a White Knight Chronicles cart, a Jibanyan cart, and a Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary cart. Unlocking everything also means you get the gyrocopter. Where are you going, Jibanyan? Pull over!
Time to move!
It's a shame that with the closure of Japan Studio, the latest game losing online, the developer Claphands going third party, that Everybody's Golf as a series is essentially dead. But all the work these last few months to preserve all the missing content is outstanding. This couldn't have been done without Bad Font Kemming, Guilty Bad Guy Gaming, and Nick Nintendo, so big shoutouts all around to everyone involved. You can finally play golf with Pac-Man, and have Layton and Catriel stuck in a drowning vehicle. We're living the dreams, buddos! Somebody help them! Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. This has been really cool to watch develop over the last few months. And if you want to see some extended gameplay of Pac-Man, we've uploaded some to our Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/GVGaming. There's a link in the description below as well. And again, even if you're not a patron, just thank you for watching and supporting us.